911. Where is your emergency?
Yes, police, please. Greenwich Apartments, she been shot about 5 times.
Okay, we just heard gunshots. Somebody pulled up in the parking lot and they just shot some.
Okay.
They pulled up in the driveway. They fired off about 6 or 7 shots.
Euclid police tells us they continue to investigate the incident and have developed strong leads. Anyone with info is asked to contact them.
Situated on the southeastern shore of Lake Erie is the inner ring suburbs of Cleveland and Euclid, Ohio. At the Green Ridge Apartments off of Euclid Avenue and 221st Street, altercation was caught on camera outside the building involving multiple people. Security footage would catch a group of people waiting in the parking lot for a resident to pull up. From the looks of things, they did not have good intentions. In the video, one of the women looked ready to fight, even punching her own hands at one point. By the time a young woman and her family came back home from the store, they never even made it inside the apartment before they were met with a hail of bullets, leaving a chaotic scene. For a mother and father in Ohio, their lives were forever altered after an alleged disagreement over a coat and a man. The mother, who would share the grief on the news, would tell how not only 2 of her children lost their lives right in front of her, but how she almost lost her life too. 44-year-old Mariana Grier will raise 3 children who are now 24, 21, and 20. The 2 girls are the oldest and birthday twins, and her 1 boy is the youngest. Lashonda's son, 20-year-old Antwon, was her young king, and she made sure he knew that. He was described as a person with a good sense of humor and kind heart, always lifting others up. He and his 21-year-old sister Mariana were so close in age and shared a special brother and sister bond. I'm sure even though he was the youngest of the 3, being the boy, he would do anything to protect the females in his life. As for Mariana, she was described as a young woman with an incredible soul who was compassionate, driven, and full of dreams for her future. Shonda would never envision that 2 of the 3 people she brought into this world would lose their lives in such a tragic way. It was just after 7 p.m. on Tuesday, December 10, 2024, when Mariana and her sister returned home from a trip to the grocery store. Arriving back home at the Green Ridge Apartments, the girls immediately noticed a group of women waiting in the parking lot. It was believed that night Mariana may have recognized the women because there had been an ongoing feud with a co-worker over a man. So apparently she believed that a fist fight was about to go down, but that was furthest from the truth. Before Mariana could get out of the blue SUV she was driving, her brother would arrive on scene with his mother Lashonda, who was seen on the footage confronting the group of women and backing up. Once Mariana got out of the SUV with her sister and took off running, you then see her almost immediately drop to the ground. Then Antwon, his mother, and other sister are seen running across the parking lot because shots were being fired. After the smoke cleared, Lashonda got up and realized that her daughter and son were both hit and sadly had to make a decision on who to run to. Her oldest daughter ran towards the sister and she ran down towards her son, who tragically, she said, passed away in her arms. By the time police got on scene, they still tried life-saving measures on both of the siblings and transported them to University Hospital in Cleveland, Ohio, where unfortunately they both were pronounced unalive.
We begin with breaking news this evening. The search is on for multiple suspects after a man and woman were shot. This happened near the Green Ridge on Euclid Apartments in Euclid. And good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Police say this happened around 7 p.m. Our Bryant McRae joins us live in Euclid. And Brian, what can you tell us right now?
Well, good evening, Russ and Lena. Officers tell me when they arrived on scene, they found a man and a woman shot. Both those victims were taken to a nearby hospital to be treated for their injuries. Officers also say there's an unknown number of parties involved in this shooting. They go on to tell me they did locate 2 vehicles they believe to belong to the perpetrators involved in this crime. People around the area telling me they heard multiple gunshots ring out. I did speak with people who live at this apartment complex, many of whom did not want to show their face on camera for their safety. Emotionally, how does this make you feel to come home to this?
Emotionally, it's scary for one, because we walk from the back parking lot, so we don't know what can happen back there, And I just was hoping it's safe. I know we got cameras everywhere, but I want to be more protected. But this can happen anywhere.
Biggest development may be surveillance video from that apartment building. Those cameras rolling as 2 young lives ended, gunned down in front of their mother and sister. Tenants say the feeling of disbelief hung over Green Ridge Apartments like the gray skies today.
The weather reflects it. It's dreary and it reflects the mood.
Derek Farmer was inside his apartment around 7 last night when he heard the loud bangs.
Probably about At least about 8, 9 maybe, that I can remember.
It wasn't until he saw the sea of flashing lights outside his window that he realized those bangs were gunshots.
I hate to see things like that, and I have no idea what transpired, what had happened led up to it, but yeah, it's a tough one.
Euclid police aren't saying much about what led up to the shooting, but apartment building surveillance video shows just before the attack, a group of women gathered in the back parking lot. Since police have not said how the women are connected to the shooting, we've blurred their faces. But at least one, looking ready for a fight, seen on video punching her hand. An apartment manager who asked us not to show her face fearing retaliation says 21-year-old Mariana Grier and her sister both rented apartments.
We're family here. I speak to everyone.
She says the sisters were returning after a trip to get groceries. The manager believes Mariana Grier knew trouble was waiting.
I believe she came knowing that she was probably going to come to fist fight, but saw how quickly that wasn't going to be the case.
Both brother and sister from their injuries, victims of what the apartment manager calls nonsense. She has this plea to those involved.
Turn yourself in. Was it really worth, from my understanding, a coat and a guy? That's what the two girls were fighting about, going to fight about.
On Tuesday, a mother was put in an awful position. Her son and daughter were both lying on the ground, shot, and she had to choose which one to run to with the hopes of trying to save their lives. Unfortunately, the 20 and 21-year-old did not survive the shooting. Now, that mother wants just one thing: justice.
My son in my arms. As a mother, how do you pick which kid to try to save and both of them down?
Nearly 48 hours later, LaShonda Grier still in shock. She walked me through what happened in the Green Ridge parking lot Tuesday night when her son and daughter were shot.
All of us fell at the same time, and when I got up, my oldest daughter got up and ran up the hill. And I ran down the hill, and I seen my son on the ground underneath the car. So about all of us falling, I pick him up, and he was so slumped.
Grier claims a van full of people, including these women you see captured on security camera, were there to confront her 21-year-old daughter, Mariana.
They came there to ambush my kids.
Her 20-year-old son, Antwon, was there to try and de-escalate the situation.
I know for a fact it was all over a boy.
Grier says the girls worked with her daughter, and jealousy over a relationship spiraled into this senseless shooting. When the bullets started flying, Grier was nearly hit herself.
I was diving for my life.
While the family waits for justice, Grier and Antwon's girlfriend grieve the loss of the brother and sister.
We were supposed to move away from Cleveland, and I won't ever get the chance to do that with them, because they just took them from me.
And they know I don't never play about my kids, but I'm going to get justice for my kids. If it's every breath in my body, I'm going to get it.
This whole tragedy has completely destroyed LaShonda, who tragically had to witness it all go down. Her beloved son and daughter that she saw come into this world sadly had to see go out, and it should have never happened. The siblings' parents wrote, Antwon and Mariana were full of life with bright futures ahead of them. They brought joy, love, and laughter to everyone who knew them. Together, they were a beautiful pair whose spirits will forever be missed. No crime is ever okay, but to lose their lives over jealousy and rage about a coat and a man is even more heartbreaking. According to a Garfield Heights police document, its officers helped detain one of the 18-year-old women who was allegedly involved in the shootings. She was taken into custody in Garfield Heights, a city 25 minutes across town, and then handed over to Euclid police. However, as of right now, there have been no official charges against anyone, but authorities believe they have a very strong lead into making further arrests. I truly hope and pray that all involved in the shooting are caught sooner than later, and that the families get full justice. My thoughts and prayers go out to the mother and sister who had to witness such a horrible crime against their loved one. I'm sure the holidays will never be the same again, and the trauma that is left behind is something no one should experience. Both Mariana and Antwon's lives mattered, and they should still be here. Please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family too in this much difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke, things change quickly.